Imagine knocking on a door for 2 weeks straight and getting nothing back. No lights flicker on, no footsteps, no voice. The mail piles up. The blinds don't move. Inside that apartment, 4 children are dead. Their mother is dead, and the woman who babysat them, who posted photos of them, who called them her whole world, is dead too. 6 bodies, 1 unit, 1 family, 3 generations gone in a single quiet stretch of days that nobody outside that front door witnessed. Police find prescription bottles, over-the-counter medications, the kind sitting in millions of medicine cabinets across America right now. They find a handwritten note, and on one of the children, they find injuries that didn't come from any pill. The neighbors thought she was the sweetest woman on the block. She baked. She shared birthday photos. One friend called her one of her best friends in the world. And the most disturbing part? Those 4 children were 1 week away from boarding a plane to see their dad for the first time in more than 6 years. They never made the trip. Mechanicville, New York, a small Saratoga County city of roughly 5,000 people, about 18 miles north of Albany along the Hudson River. The kind of place where neighbours actually know each other's names. The John S. Moore housing complex on Harris Avenue. 2 apartments in particular. In one lived Amy Stedman, 64 years old, a grandmother who, by every public account, was devoted to her grandkids. She once posted online that any day with a grandchild in her arms was an amazing day. In another unit just steps away lived her adult daughter, Sarah Myers, 44 years old, a single mother of 4. She called herself Mama Bear. She posted constantly about her kids. The children, Harper Harmon, 13 years old, Hudson Harmon, 11, and the twins, Gavin and Gracelyn, both 10. Their father, Brady Harmon, lived more than 2,000 miles away in Utah. The marriage had ended. Brady filed for divorce in March of 2020. The case was finalized only 2 months before everything fell apart. After a long custody battle, Brady had finally been granted 2 consecutive months with his children, July 1st through September 1st, 2026. He hadn't seen them in person since November 7th, 2018. More than 6 years. He was counting the days. Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026. Approximately 6:30 in the evening. A neighbour named Stephanie Sweeney, who lived just 2 doors down and who later told reporters Amy was one of her best friends, picked up the phone and called police. She hadn't seen Amy in about 2 weeks. The kids hadn't been around either. Something felt wrong. Officers from the Mechanicville Police Department arrived at the complex. They knocked. Nothing. They called out. Nothing. Building management was summoned to unlock the apartment door. Officers stepped inside Amy Stedman's unit, and what they found stopped them cold. 6 bodies, all inside one apartment. The condition of the remains was so severe that officers could not immediately identify who was who. Mechanicville Police Chief William Rabbit later told reporters the family had been deceased for what he called an extended period of time. The children weren't even found in their own apartment. They had been at Grandma's place, all 4 of them, their mother too. Autopsies were conducted the following day, Wednesday, June 24th. Only then were names finally attached to faces. Pause for a second. Take a breath. Because this is where this story stops being about a missing person and starts becoming something much darker. This wasn't a sudden burst of chaos in a busy household. This was quiet, contained, hidden behind a closed apartment door for close to 2 weeks. No one saw it from the outside because there was nothing to see. The kids were home from school for summer break. Friends assumed they were on vacation. Co-workers assumed Sarah was busy. Amy lived alone, and a quiet stretch from a 64-year-old grandmother is not, on its own, a red flag. Inside the apartment, investigators recovered numerous prescription medications and over-the-counter medications. Police described the evidence as indicating intentional poisoning. Alongside the medications, A handwritten note that, in Chief Rabbit's words, strongly suggests Amy Stedman was involved in the deaths. The note's contents have not been released. Chief Rabbit has refused to even publicly confirm who wrote it. Let me ask you something directly. If you had gone 2 weeks without hearing from a close friend, would you have called sooner? Would you have knocked harder? Drop your honest answer in the comments. Because somewhere in this country, right now, someone else's neighbour isn't answering the door either. Police have confirmed something that makes this case even more disturbing. One of the 4 children suffered what investigators described as fatal sharp force injuries. Chief Rabbit did not say which child. He did not describe the weapon. He did not specify the location of the wounds. Only that they were fatal and inflicted inside that apartment. It means the deaths were not uniform. It means whoever did this did not stop at a single method. Final cause and manner of death for all 6 victims remain officially pending. The Saratoga County Medical Examiner is still working through toxicology results. Until those reports come back, nothing about how each individual person died is officially confirmed. But the early picture investigators have publicly described is of a contained family-wide event. Police have stated clearly that they have found no evidence of any outside individual being involved. Whatever happened entirely inside that apartment. Here is where this case breaks the usual template. There are no criminal charges. There is no defendant in custody. There will be no arraignment. There will be no trial. Because the only person police have publicly named as a suspect, Amy Stedman, is dead. Under New York law, a criminal prosecution cannot proceed against a deceased individual. The findings here will instead be documented through the Mechanicville Police Department, the Saratoga County District Attorney's Office, and the County Medical Examiner. The official manner of death for each victim, homicide, suicide, or undetermined, will be assigned by that medical examiner once toxicology is complete. And it's worth saying out loud, Stedman has not been convicted of anything. She has been named a suspect by police based on a handwritten note and circumstantial evidence. Chief Rabbit himself stressed that final accountability will only be determined after every test, every report, and every review is complete. Police have publicly floated one possible motive: resentment over the custody ruling that gave Brady Harmon those 2 summer months with his children. But at this stage, that is a theory, not a finding. Here is what nobody can answer yet. In March of 2022, Amy Stedman publicly shared a GoFundMe campaign her daughter Sarah had created. The title, "Help Get a Domestic Violence Lawyer Save My Kids." The fundraiser has since been deleted. For years, grandmother and daughter appeared to be on the same side of a long, exhausting fight. Allies, partners, a team. So what happened in the days, maybe hours, before that apartment door closed for the last time? What was written on that note? And was there anything, a phone call, a text, a knock, an open door, that could have changed how this ended? Tell us in the comments who you're thinking about as you watch this. Sometimes that's the only thing that breaks the silence. Harper, Hudson, Gavin, Gracelyn, Sarah. Their names matter more than the details of how they died. 4 children who were 1 week away from finally seeing their father. A mother who fought, publicly and privately, for years. And a grandmother whose final act remains a question the law can no longer prosecute. If this story moved you, hit subscribe so families behind cases like this one don't get forgotten. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because somewhere tonight, another door isn't being answered, and somebody somewhere needs to be the neighbour who picks up the phone.